Yeah, that was the one and only Santana from the tribute to Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water. We're actually going to go to the phones right now because we have the one and only Marina Evans on the line. Hello, Marina.
Hello, Greg. How are you?
Not too bad. Welcome to the G Spot. How are you and what is going on?
I'm great, thank you. And, not much. Trying to stay warm in the sudden winter that's come upon us.
I know. Don't you love New England?
Yes, I do.
It's the greatest weather in the world.
I'm with you on that.
Let's get right into it. It seems you've accomplished quite a bit in a very short time. What can you tell us about Marina Evans for those who might not have heard of you yet?
Well, I grew up in Rockport, Massachusetts, up in this little town, and I started writing music and playing, guitar and singing my own songs while I was in college. Since that time, I've written and released 3 EPs and a full album. I think one of the songs you played earlier, Greg, on the show. And, I started singing jazz, so I was singing the American Songbook back when I was 16 and 17. And you can definitely hear some of that influence in the songwriting and also just the way that I sing. But I kind of grew up listening to classic rock as well, the 60s and 70s, Led Zeppelin, Boston, the Stones, all of that. So that plays a big influence on my sound and my kind of aesthetic, I guess you could say. So I try to combine these different influences, and hopefully, I feel like this latest album does a good job of navigating those different genres.
As you said, your most recent release, which is also your debut full-length album, I have to tell you, it is an illuminating bundle of lyrical and musical brilliance.
Oh, wow.
Unbound has a wonderful, comforting sound. What was your idea for this album after you just recently released 2 original EPs? That was Dogtown and the Tuscan Sessions. What was your idea for Unbound after you were done with these EPs? I mean, did you already have it in your mind after you released those 2 EPs that Unbound was your next phase or step?
Well, I mean, in a way, yes. I couldn't have anticipated precisely how it was going to come out, at the time of releasing the EPs. But having worked on those 2 smaller projects, I got like these kind of baby doses of what it means to make, an album that's kind of a greater body of work. So you're sort of making a broader statement with that than you are with a CD that has 3 or 4 songs on it. I got a lot of experience in the studio and working with different musicians on both of those EPs, and it kind of helped me refine my vision a little and give me a better idea of what I wanted to go for with Unbound. That CD, though, has some older songs and a lot of new ones. So I had a few songs in mind already, that I knew I was going to record and put on this album, and was kind of writing around them to fill it out and, kind of take it a step farther. The short answer is I knew I was going to make an album at that time. How it was going to go, I was not sure of. Yeah.
It really never is. I mean, some people have an idea. Some artists, they can foresee it, but they necessarily don't know what's going to transpire from it. The track California has that, that hello, come on in and have a seat type feeling to it. How easy is it for you to blend all your influences into one, and what similarities are with this particular song regarding your influences?
Well, let's see. As far as blending them goes, I feel like initially it happened pretty organically, just in the writing of the songs, and my what I like and what really draws me in terms of a melody that might have more of a jazz influence over a chord progression that is maybe standard folk or blues kind of structure there. So, let's see. I think Waking Life, that song on the album, is a good example. It's a pretty bluegrass vibe on that track in terms of the instrumentation. We've got a banjo pretty nicely featured there, which is awesome. But then we threw a trombone into the mix, which kind of pulled on, different genres. It wasn't so much in this standard blues setup, I find that when I'm listening to a song, I tend to picture the band that's playing it, What I really liked about listening to this one was that I had this band in mind, and I could sort of see them. And then the trombone comes in, and it fit, the sound, but you didn't imagine that guy in the band. It was kind of cool.
No, and that's a great way to look at it. I mean, and you're exactly right, because when I listened to the whole CD, I enjoyed the whole thing, but it didn't give you a sense of one certain style. You know what I mean? It wasn't, you might have been considered jazz or blues or folk, but it really didn't give, to me, it didn't give me that feeling. Just, it was all around good music, and I don't think there was a certain category you could pinpoint with any of the tracks on this CD. Borderline is sultry and sexy. What's the story with that track, and what was it like writing that song?
Oh, man. Well, like a lot of my songs, that one's pretty personal. I find that I will have some kind of, jarring experience, be it, romantic or emotional or with your family, and I tend to try to sort these things out as I play and write. But at the same time, you don't want your lyrics to be so specific and so particularly pertaining to you and that situation that you're dealing with when you're writing, that, I've tried to generalize, I guess, which is kind of not the best word for it, but maybe open up the lyrics a little bit, use images that, any person could see and relate to and kind of take something from, so that the song, is more broadly applicable. So yeah, I think Borderline is open in that way. Like you could kind of imagine different stories for it, I would hope anyway.
I can actually see that now after the way you put it. After I've heard it, now I can definitely put that together with it. Another really cool track is Lady America. It has a folk, rock, punk, jazzy taste to it. How did this song come to light?
Well, let me see. I was feeling a little disillusioned with just various, political situations here in the land of the free. And so I was angry, and confused. And I wrote this song, and I tell you, I had a battle with these lyrics because I didn't want to, have it come across as some kind of juvenile lament and criticism against a nation that, doesn't have the substance to it that I think it would need, So I fooled around with a lot of different images in that song so that it would get the point across without being unnecessarily cutting, At the same time, I really just wanted to write a rock song. When that one came pretty late in the album process. I think in the last 2 months that we were there, we wrote and recorded that one. And, so the theme, this kind of protest song, definitely fit with the riffs that we were coming up with. And that's how it happened.
Well, that's a pretty cool story. Definitely. And I know what you mean about, we won't even get into the political side.
I mean, I don't want to be, political necessarily, but I felt like I needed to say those things.
And I think we all need to say that sometimes so people will wake up. Hopefully they get it. The self-titled track, Unbound, reaches unknown heights with its infectious beat and magnetic vocals. How did you decide this would be the self-titled track?
Well, I guess the song itself was about a sort of release, a change in perspective that comes with either a resolution of some ongoing problem or question or with acceptance of it. And, with my creative process in making this album, I was really involved in it, deeply invested in it, and it was really tiring, because I so passionately wanted it to come out, perfectly. And so with this song, the whole thing just conveyed release to me, listening to the production and the strings on that especially. And I realized that, that's kind of what this album was, it was, instead of doing these smaller bursts, like with the EPs of, writing and creating, I had the means, and the time to make a broader statement. And that was a big relief once it was all said and done. So it just seemed a natural fit for the title.
Every track off this CD fits perfectly. It is a wonderful creation. This coming from a metalhead.
Yeah, I know.
No, but
how you were going to take it.
No, but really, my tastes are very vast. I mean, I like even classical, and I've told people this, and they look at me kind of weird. But I take every bit of music that I listen to for what it's worth, and it's beautiful stuff. It really is. Your voice is mesmerizing, and it's enticing, and reaches out and grabs you. That's what I like from an artist. It doesn't matter if it's punk, pop, rock, metal. If they can do that to me, then they have something very special. What do you think has attributed more so than the rest to your unique sound and style? Is it your musical influences? Is it something that you set out to do? Was it life in general?
Well, I've been very lucky. I've been exposed to a lot of different kinds of music for my whole life. I come from a really musical family. My mother plays piano beautifully, and my father sings, although he wouldn't admit it. But he has a vast collection of records of vinyl. And so we always, there was always music on in the house, and I'm one of 4 kids, and every one of us plays an instrument of some kind. And so, I really got the chance to kind of listen and absorb all kinds of music from, the big bands of Duke Ellington and Count Basie and all the great jazz musicians and singers to, the classic folk from the early 60s, and classic rock was something my bigger brother brought into my life. Thank God. He saved me from the boy band. He made me a mix CD with Thin Lizzy and Led Zeppelin and all this stuff on it. Basically, it turned me around. Turned me around big time.
I can see why it would, though.
Yeah, I still have the CD. It was, once I heard that, I realized, what am I doing? These boy bands. Yeah, so I guess in that way, I feel like I've kind of absorbed all of these different things over the years organically and liked and loved them all. So I've been lucky to have that exposure, that education.
And I know exactly what you mean. I was exposed to certain genres of music when I was a wee lad, and it shaped me for what I love today. And it really does. It impacts you one way or another, whether you're an artist or whether you're just somebody who enjoys music. I checked out the whole CD. It was enjoyable. It was music that you can sit and listen to. So I guess all I have left is, what is next for Marina Evans, and can we see more from you in 2015 or beyond?
Absolutely. In a word.
Is it safe to say that you're already thinking about another album?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of songs that, need work and need tweaking and sorting out. And so, that's happening now. Specific plans for the where and the when and like that have not yet materialized, but they absolutely will, in 2015. And in the meantime, I'll be touring. I'm always touring. So when I'm home, so, I'll be around, anywhere from Maine down to Pennsylvania and everywhere in between. So my website, marinaevansmusic.com, has all of my shows on it, and I update that list all the time. So just keep an eye on that. I'll be around sooner or later.
And I definitely will keep an eye and ear out for you because, as I said, I enjoyed it very much, and I appreciate the opportunity to actually check it out.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
I don't think artists get enough credit or enough thanks because, believe it or not, the way I look at it with any artist, it doesn't matter what genre it is, this is your creative art. This is something that is a part of you. And I want to say thank you because you've allowed me to enter that. I don't think artists are recognized enough for that. I want to thank you not only for that, but I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us here on the G-Spot. I want to thank New England Concert Reviews. I wish you the best, whatever it is you choose to do. I can't wait for the new CD. Good luck on the tour, and happy holidays.
Hey, well, thank you so much for having me on the show, and for your very kind words about the record. And yeah, happy holidays to you too.
All right, keep putting it out there, and hopefully we will get some more very soon.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
All right, thank you again, Marina.
All right, thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Marina Evans, very gracious artist, very humble, and just so creative. You need to check her out. She's going to be around, and she's going to be playing all over the place in New England over the holidays. So if you get a chance, check her out. Phenomenal artist. I want to thank Marina Evans. I want to thank New England Concert Reviews. We're going to get back to some music right now. This is Van Halen. Can't get this stuff no more right here on WSUR.